In this video, we're going to repair this exhaust leak, and we are going to do this without welding. This repair will be permanent and will pass inspection. You can't always repair the exhaust pipes in this way, but many times you can, and I will explain all that shortly. So in this case, our leak is right here on the pipe, on the top and on the bottom. There are two pretty large holes, about the size of a penny. This case is pretty straightforward, but we do have a few challenges to overcome. And there are cases that are more challenging, but fear not, as I do have more videos and shorts that actually give you more ways to troubleshoot and fix the exhaust. So check those out and subscribe to get more videos on this and other crucial matters that are yet to come, because many of these tips you can't find anywhere else. Let's get to it. We're going to cut the pipe right in the middle of the holes so as not to lose any length of the pipe. We are going to cut the pipe using the exhaust cutter tool and an angle grinder. And there are other ways to cut the pipe, depending on the specific scenario. You can use a small hacksaw or sawzall and others, but what I like about this cutter is that it can get into very tight spaces and it's safe to use. In this case, I could have lowered the pipe by removing it from these rubber insulators, but I chose not to because this exhaust system is not in the best shape. And I didn't want to disturb anything that can turn into another leak. And you can see that with this tool, I was able to get this job done pretty easily, even though I did have to deal with a few irregularities. But that gave me a chance to show you a few tricks I learned along the way. So I cut the pipe with this tool, and you can actually borrow it from Advanced Auto Parts. I used a little help from the angle grinder, just to speed things up, where it was easy to reach. After I cut the pipe, I grabbed a piece of scrap pipe I had from another project that was the same size that was on the car. But you can actually measure it with a measuring tape, although it's nicer to have a piece of pipe that you can actually match up at the store. So I grabbed my pipe and matched it to the pipe on the car, and it was the same size. So obviously I need the size larger, so I walked all the way to the parts store next door with my pipe to seek my quest. 1 minute later, I found a pipe that was the right size, and with a little help, will fit perfectly. I will show that soon. Now I needed 2 exhaust clamps that will fit over the new pipe, so everything will be attached properly and won't leak. So one of the hurdles we had was that the clamps available were either slightly too big or slightly too small. So luckily we have a perfect trick for this that works every time. So we get the 2 clamps that are slightly small, pay for all of this. It comes out to just over $20, and usually would be a bit cheaper for this style of repair, but they didn't have a short piece of pipe, only a long one. But all is well. I'm sure the rest of the pipe will come in handy in the future. We walk back to the shop. 1 minute later. Chat with James for a few minutes about the asphalt repair we're dealing with, because the city can't take care of their own death traps in the middle of the sidewalk, but of course they can harass me for some cracks and potholes on my lot. Back to work. So in order to know how long our pipe needs to be, we take a clamp and place it on the good part of the pipe and mark it with a Sharpie pen just after the clamp, because in order to get a good seal, the clamp needs to be over a good solid piece of pipe, in our case, here and here. So this would need to be the length of our pipe. So we mark our cut line. We check our pipe against the pipe on the car, and it looks good, just slightly small. So we bring out the expander, also available to borrow in the kit from Advanced Auto Parts, and we go on to expand the pipe. You insert the expander about 2/3 of the way, and preferably with an impact wrench, you tighten the bolt, which expands the pipe. Now you want to expand the pipe a little, and then slightly loosen the bolt on the expander, just enough so you can turn the expander half a tooth over and expand again. This will ensure that our pipe expands evenly. We only need a very slight expansion, so we tested our pipe and it fit perfectly. Now we're going to cut it to size, and expanded the pipe again just slightly on the new cut edge, and we tested it, and it fits great. It goes on smoothly, but doesn't leave too much of a gap between the 2 pipes. Next we get out the clamps, and as we already knew, it won't fit over the pipe. Here's what we do. We grab 2 long sockets that fit over the thread of the clamp, and 2 extensions. And we use these to force the clamp to open slightly, just enough that we can slide it over the pipe. And we do the same with the second clamp. Now we have one more issue. Since we expanded the clamp, the bracket that goes with it won't fit over it. Here's what we do. We put the bracket on one side and thread the nut a few turns. Now we grab the C-clamp vice grippers, a great tool with many uses. Will set you back about $20. I will put a link in the description for this and for the exhaust kit I used. And when you clamp down on the clamp, it forces the clamp into the bracket, and you can thread on the second nut. We do the same with the second clamp, and both our clamps are ready to be tightened. We just need to make sure that they are in the right place, just before the edge of the outside pipe. And we tighten all the nuts evenly until the pipes start to deform. And you see it starting to get a lip on the edge. Then you're ready to test it. Start the car and check for leaks. The easiest way to check for leaks is to get your ear close by and listen for leaks. But you can also place your hand around the pipe and see if you can feel some escaping air. If there's a leak from one of the connections, try tightening the nuts a little more. If you don't hear or feel anything, then you're good. If it's sealed, great, you're done. Good job. If not, check out my other exhaust repair videos and shorts that will have many more tips that will help troubleshoot and repair these leaks when things are not straightforward and there's still an exhaust leak, or it's a more complicated repair. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching.